Hey, good morning. Welcome. It is December 3rd. Welcome to December. This year's almost over. This is episode number 20 of the Sports Cave on #Champs. This is your boy Juice.
Big man in the house.
And we got a good show for you today. We do have one person missing. Adol's out there, South Texas. Hey, don't forget Taco Palenque way. I told you. I heard it's a good spot.
Fajita tacos.
Right. All day. Charro beans as a side. Can't go wrong with that. But we do got a quick recap of some high school playoff football. Of course, the big shakeup, bro.
Big shakeup.
We're gonna see what this committee's gonna vote on. We'll see what they do with this championship weekend in top 25 college football. We'll go over some little NFL news. A lot of little things came out. Of course, Eli, Josh Gordon, things like that. And then we'll recap Week 13. So y'all stay tuned. This is gonna be a good show.
You're now tuned in to the Sports Cave on #Champs.
All right, we want to welcome you to the Sports Cave, the official podcast of real fans. And this show streams live on YouTube every Sunday morning at 9:30. We are on time today. So start your morning with us. We do interact with you through a chat, take phone calls while we're on the air. And if you can't make this live stream, the recorded version is available on YouTube, iTunes, and Google Play Music Monday mornings at 6 a.m. So we'd like you to subscribe to our community, and you can do so by visiting #champs.tv.
And y'all make sure y'all check us out on social media. We are all over the page on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's at the Sports Cave. And you could always catch us live stream by going to live.#champs.tv. And, well,
man,
episode 20,
bro. We're
let's do this.
Big boy numbers now.
Right,
about to turn 21 in a minute. Good morning to Manny. Thank you for tuning in, bro. I'm glad you got that notification, guys. That's what we asked, man. I subscribe to the #Champs. I get a notification. It bings in the morning. It bings when we go live. So even when I'm sitting here, I know our boy Manny subscribed.
We also stream on Facebook now,
and
too.
We're streaming on Facebook, too, so hopefully that gets y'all going and share that page. Y'all get the word out, man. It's like I said, we're just doing this for the love of it. This is a good season to be watching some sports, bro. I know there's
crazy season.
Man, crazy season all over the place. Yeah, football's been crazy. College has been crazy. Everything has been crazy, but we'll just give a quick recap for all you guys out there that watch some high school football. We've been covering kind of the local schools in the area, and then there were some good games on yesterday. Midland and Trinity played. Trinity ended up winning. We know that's a local school that's been a powerhouse for a minute. Yeah, they were in that Gatorade commercial a few years ago, and we saw
they've been on ESPN.
Yeah,
nationally. They've televised their games before.
Yeah, so Trinity is a powerhouse, and they're about to go face another powerhouse, Arlington Lamar and. Arlington Martin and Allen played yesterday, and Allen went through. So Allen, we know, is a big powerhouse too. So that's a good game to go watch. I know y'all know Allen has that big old stadium,
right.
College-sized stadium. But Allen and Trinity, that's probably one to watch for state. It may be televised.
Those will be a lot of players that will be playing in Division I schools next year.
Those kids are gonna be making some noise. On the other end, Coppell lost to Cedar Ridge, and Saxe, which is a school that we were kind of following because it's kind of close to where we're at, ended up losing last night to Hendricks. So I guess Saxe had a good season. We were being told that was a team to watch. Might go to state, but those guys got knocked out. So Cedar Ridge not a bad. Yeah, you can't complain, Saxe, because they're still a new school. I mean, they opened up after I graduated from Marlette, and that was kind of like the rival school because they took one of our colors and things like that. But they're still a pretty new school in Garland. So shout out to Saxe, man. I heard y'all got a good program. Arlington and South Lake Carroll played. South Lake Carroll, of course, another big powerhouse. Big powerhouse. And that they make national news too. They ended up winning. They're going to be playing Midway, who beat Mansfield yesterday. Then we have these schools are a little bit more further away, but they're still in our division. Longview's playing Lufkin. If anybody knows, big boy Dez,
football, baby.
Throw up the X, Lufkin, Texas. They're making it in, so congrats to them, man. I like schools like that, small schools.
East Texas always has somebody representing them, whether it's Longview, Lufkin, Tyler's
John. There you go. That was the one.
Those are our big schools.
Those are big schools.
Always in the playoffs.
So if you guys are just in the area, most of these games are going to be played on the 9th. There's Longview games on the 7th, and but the other ones I think are all on the 9th, which is if you guys are interested in keeping up with watching some high school football, those games are crazy, man. Those games aren't just your typical. I'm gonna go to HBJ.
High school games have advanced over the last couple of years.
They have.
These players, like before, you wouldn't see a lot of throwing and all that, but now high school games are almost like college level games, man. They do everything. They do trick plays. They do passing plays. They do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, because back in the day when we were in high school, I know Garland was like the powerhouse in like one of the country. Like that was like what we were known for in Texas. Like Garland was, even if you didn't go to Garland, you rooted for them because they're representing our city and the area that we grew up in. And so, it's good to see it's good to see schools that are local that are making buzz like that. So we need to get back to that, let people know that it's not Florida who's the powerhouse, it's Texas. Texas is where it's at. Look out the quarterbacks in the NFL. A lot of them come from Texas. So shout out to all the high schools out there still in the hunt. You guys, like I said, you guys tune in. There should be some good football. If you got nothing else to watch, I'm sure they're televised. But we're going to talk about some Saturday football.
Man, it was a shake-up yesterday.
Woo, shake-up to – man, I don't know what this committee's going to do. And I think this maybe exposes a flaw in their system with just 4 teams. Because what do you do now?
We've been calling it all season, man. You need to expand that playoff.
You need to. Okay, Clemson ended up winning, right?
They whooped Miami. And
the final score was 38-3. All right, so they were ranked number 1 in the playoff rankings, so they'll stay. Oklahoma mollywopped TCU again.
My play of the day yesterday.
Yeah, good call. And Ronnie also called that one. He said that they handled them pretty easy. So Oklahoma was ranked 3rd. They're in for sure. They had to be in for sure unless the system's wrong. So then we go to the next. Number 2 was Auburn. They were ranked 2 in the playoff. Okay,
going up against number 6 Georgia.
Against number 6 Georgia, and Georgia just ran
mollywop.
Whew. That SEC game is usually pretty good. It was weird that Alabama wasn't in there.
And it was weird that Auburn didn't even put up a fight.
They didn't put up a fight, yeah. So Auburn loses.
By the way, where's Ronnie? Ronnie, you tuned in yet?
Yeah.
I heard you pick Auburn over Georgia. What's going on, man?
Call in, Ronnie. Where you at? Tune in. I know you're away, you early bird. All right, so then it goes to number 4, Wisconsin, which you called that game, or you were saying last week that Ohio State, you never know.
Man.
Wisconsin hadn't played anybody. So
yeah.
Wisconsin loses, Auburn loses. Then we go back to Alabama and Georgia. They're 5 and 6, and Ohio State. So who they put in?
2 of them got to get in.
2 of them got to get in.
We know Oklahoma and Clemson are locked.
Yeah,
that's probably your 1 and 2 right there.
Those have to be
your 1 and 2.
Those have to be in.
I mean, they put up numbers in the championship game.
It
wasn't close.
It wasn't close at all.
They didn't do anything against Oklahoma.
The first quarter, I was
don't get those 17 points twisted. They were never in that game.
They had those points at the beginning on like a blown coverage.
Yeah,
and that's about it. After that, it was just dominant. I mean, turnovers.
Georgia, man, if y'all ain't watching this season, they got 3 running backs that can take it to the house.
Georgia's known for their running game.
I didn't see Swift Swift, their third string running back yesterday to seal the deal. Man, that dude is a beast.
Them boys got some big boys up front too.
They have 2,000-yard starters for first and second string, and then they got the third string that I think he's a freshman, so you're gonna see more of Swift, and y'all gonna know his name by the time.
Yeah, he's a freshman. He's coming. He's for sure coming back as part of next year. So the question is, who do they put in? Man, I don't know. Alabama's been everyone lobbies for Alabama, and they to the point, to the people or what they're saying, it makes sense. Yeah, they've been dominant all year, and then 1 loss. Should they be out? And everyone's lobbying for them to get in. They might get in. They might just sneak on in there.
I think what'll get them in is just their name, a little bit of the controversy. They do get in, and then they only have 1 loss.
They have 1 loss, and it was to a ranked team. So it wasn't like they lost to Pitt or they lost to Navy or something like that. They lost to. It was a good game. It was a good loss, but
so I think Alabama gets in. As much as I hate to say it, I think they get in. It's the logical choice, the way the committee thinks, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's going to come down to that 4th spot, whether it's Georgia or Ohio State.
And that's a tough one because Miami was there at 7, they lost, so they're completely out. And then so if we move Alabama up, and that leaves Wisconsin out, Auburn out, and you think either one of those with the loss will go back in? Because then they have to choose from Auburn, Wisconsin, and Georgia. But Wisconsin's
out.
They have 1 loss. I don't think they have enough.
Their strength of schedule wasn't strong enough to They had to have won yesterday to be able to even be considered or stay in the top 4, and they lost. So.
This would be Auburn's third loss. So I don't think they have to compare.
I think Auburn gets out.
I think Auburn should be out.
It comes down to Georgia and Ohio State.
Georgia and Ohio State. Now, out of that, man, I don't know who I want to see. I would lobby. As much as I don't like Ohio State, just because I don't like Ohio State, they're a good team. They've always been a good organization. But that running game of Georgia, I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that dominant run game against someone like Oklahoma.
I think Georgia gets in, honestly.
You think so?
I think it'll be Clemson, Oklahoma, and then Alabama and Georgia.
You know what? That's realistically probably what's going to happen. Yeah, I think Alabama's too big of a name, too big of a money draw.
Yeah.
So they won't. So you're going Clemson, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Georgia.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
I couldn't even see Georgia even get into third, and then Alabama fourth. But I don't know. It's just that one loss, that they have.
Yeah.
And Georgia has 2, but Georgia also only lost to Auburn, and then the other one was.
They have one loss.
They have one loss also.
Yeah.
So it was just to Auburn.
Just to Auburn.
So they both lost to Auburn.
They both lost to Auburn, and which just got beat by Georgia. So I think Georgia should be seated higher because they beat Auburn.
So I thought for some reason they had 2. So I think Georgia and then it'll be
so Clemson, Oklahoma,
Alabama, Georgia, and then Alabama. That's how I see it.
So then they would be. I don't have the schedule who they would play with the seeding, but it's looking like Clemson would probably play Alabama.
That'll be nice.
Dang, that'd be crazy. And then Oklahoma at Georgia, I'd like to see Oklahoma get mollywopped just because it's.
I see the committee's gonna have a tough.
This is gonna be tough, man. The good thing they have until Tuesday, but this is gonna be. This is good.
Shows you how much more we need. At least a 6 or 8 team playoff.
Yeah, I mean, because Georgia that was dominant, bro. 28-7, and then
it
wasn't even good. And then there was some other championship games like the Pac-12. Stanford went up there and they lost to USC 31-28.
Yeah.
That was a close game. So we know the Big Ten, Ohio State won. The ACC, of course, Clemson, mollywop Miami.
Right.
The Mountain West, Boise State went in there and upset Fresno 17-14. In case anybody out there on the West Coast
didn't cover the spread, by the way.
Didn't cover the spread. There you go. That's why we covered it.
There's no way I would have took Boise State plus those. Minus the points after they had already lost. Fresno State, for the last game of the season. So
yeah. So then the AAC, the American Athletic Conference, Memphis lost to UCF.
Man,
that game
looked good.
62-55, bro. That was
over and under was 81. So I knew they were going to score a lot of points.
So that was
both teams averaged like over 40-something points a game.
Talk about no defense.
Yeah.
We know the Big 12. Oklahoma won for a third year in a row. And then Georgia, that was the game to watch. So that Georgia, we was getting ready for a Christmas party. That Georgia game was great, man.
Yeah.
We got another viewer. Good morning, Carlos. Welcome tuning in. Ontanos tamales, way. Bring some. So that's kind of your shakeup. We'll definitely be covering what the committee chooses, the bowl season, all these games. Now that we know there's a lot of bowls out there that they're not all meaningless. And these guys are trying to play for careers and trying to get drafted. So, but some of them are sitting out. There's a big controversy like Texas is going to a bowl finally, but they're sitting out some players. So we'll see how that plays off. Those guys don't want to get hurt, but sometimes I don't know if you need that extra week or the extra game to show off what you got. So we'll be covering some bowl games, but before we move on to the NFL, which is going to take up the priority of our time, because we got some news going on too. We just want to let you know that. We want to thank you for watching and listening, and remember that you can find us only on #champs, and we want to remind you that you can see our previous episodes by visiting DaSportzCave.live. So that's exciting. What's that talking about? Oh, Adol's in the house. Ronnie's crying since Auburn lost.
South Texas.
All the way are you on the road, man? Don't be texting and driving, bro. But we're glad you tuned in. Taco Palenque way. I'm telling you, that's what I heard is the bomb diggity. So Ronnie's crying since Auburn lost. Yeah, he hasn't called in, bro. So we don't know if he's gonna call in today. Maybe he's not awake yet.
He's out there trying to get people off his yard.
He's over there putting.
He knows he was wrong, so he doesn't want to call in.
Right. He was calling the TCU game. That's about it. I'm sure he'll call in.
Right.
We'll see if anybody calls in. But We got some news, man. NFL news Sunday, big boy football. It's going to be a good week this week. We got some good games, but there's some interesting stuff that happened throughout the week. Of course, the biggest one is
cry face, dumb
face Eli. His streak is up over 200.
Streak is over.
Was it 210 games?
Yep.
And now he's getting benched. Now they gave him
he may not be a Giant anymore after this year.
They gave him the option, bro. So
he benched himself.
So who are you faulting at that point? I know we want to see younger guys, but they gave him the option to start, and he said, "Nah, I'd rather sit out."
That team has really fallen apart. They've lost their locker room. Early reports saying that Ben McAdoo could be fired as early as Monday. So we'll see.
I'm surprised he still has his job.
All right, yeah, I don't know.
Manny's not worried about McAdoo. Manny's worried about.
He's got his van loaded. His Econoline van.
He's got candy in there. Ready.
Want a piece of candy?
Hey, niños, vengan a la ven. So Eli getting benched 200. Yeah, it's debatable. I don't really care. I know it's about the team. The team's gonna be worried about the team. But at this point, I think they should have just let him finish out the season. I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean,
it's at least give him that much respect. He brought you 2 Super Bowls, and really, you're gonna bench and bring Geno Smith for what? You don't have nothing left to play for. Geno Smith is not your future quarterback. We know that.
I have no idea what they're doing, and I'm
glad though.
Yeah.
I mean, as a Cowboys fan, I'm glad that they're in the NFC East. I like to see a team like that just have problems like that.
I like to see them and the Redskins struggle.
Right, but that was disrespectful though.
Yeah, but that's on him. Adolf said he just crossed the border. Check in. They let you back in, bro. That's good, man. So
he's from Mexico City. Remember?
Mexico City. They don't recognize you on TV, bro. But yeah. So then Derek McFadden, Cowboys, retired.
Yeah, we released him. We thought he was probably going to end up signing with maybe a contender or somebody that was really needing a running back to finish out the season, and he decided to retire. He said, "That's it.
That's it. He's done." But I think he still has some football in him, bro.
He does, but I mean, he probably is looking at it like, I haven't played all season. I really didn't play last year. I've gotten paid. I still healthy. I'm still kind of young. I have my money, so I don't blame him. I mean,
Carlos is asking for the prediction for Dallas, New York next week. Cowboys win, bro. Easy. Fácil. Ira. Like this, ira. Quick. They're done. It's a win.
We win that before we even get there.
We don't have to even show up, bro. Let the scrub.
They're already losing that game.
Right. Let Cooper rush. You might as well let him play.
They're already losing this game in the locker room.
Yeah. Adolf said 10 points next week. Geno Smith as quarterback. Yeah. You know what? I say that's a good point because Adolf also said that they're tanking for a top QB pick. They might be.
I can see that.
Because there's a possibility that Eli may not be there, and Eli may go to one of these young teams, man, that need a quarterback. That's all they're missing,
right?
And who knows, man? I don't know. I could see him in another uniform, but if he leaves the East, that's fine. Well, there's that whole debate if he's a Hall of Fame quarterback or not. I know he's got 2 Super Bowls, but we'll see. Big shakeup last week, round 2. Michael Crabtree from Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Akeem Talib, part 2. We thought we were watching boxing out there, man. They didn't even wait. They just said, "Let's go."
They just went at it from the get-go.
But shout out.
Crabtree lost another chain.
2 chains.
That's 2 chains.
Bro,
according to CBS, he's lost 2 chains.
Come on, man. You can't be doing that. You from Dallas, bro. But you didn't even Talib. You got to take off that helmet, man. Don't leave your helmet
sucker punches like that.
Yeah, come on. You're a grown man. You can't fight nobody. Crabtree's from Dallas, bro. It's scrapper.
Talib's from Dallas.
I mean, no, Crabtree's from Dallas. Michael Crabtree.
So it's a key.
So they're both from Dallas. I guess that's how we do. That's how we do, y'all. We just want to fight. When we go out of town, you know what we say. We from Texas. So part 2 chains. That was a big thing. Then I also heard about Josh Gordon trying to come back. I don't know, man. He's been out for like 2 seasons.
He's still young, though.
He's still young. He's still fast. He was running 4.
But, man, I was listening to the fan the other day, and this guy was bringing up all these things that he still doesn't see him being a successful player coming back. He still has a lot of issues off the field.
Well, his agent is suspended from talking.
His agent is living with him.
Yeah, his agent's living with him, and his agent is in hot water.
Suspended from the NFL, yeah.
So, are you making the right decision, man? I can see him. He could probably be like a what's his name? He's got a case to come back.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he'll be looked at and monitored, but they're saying he says the right things.
He says the right things, but at the same time, on the fan, they were talking about this interview that they were doing, and his agent had to stop it because he was saying some things.
He didn't want it on
questionable.
he didn't want it on record.
Yeah, he didn't want it on record, and
Which
it's
is
something like he doesn't even know how long he's been sober. Which with most people that are recovering,
They know exactly how long.
from rehab, and they're recovering. They know exactly to the day which day was the day they finally let go of it. If he can't even tell you that, like.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
To me, I understand, hey, live your life, do you, but if you're getting paid millions of dollars to play football, man, just follow the simple rules. Wait till the off season and then clean yourself up. Like, I don't know, man. He had a promising career because they said he was going.
I mean, he was one of the hottest wide receivers when he got suspended. He was playing for the Browns.
The Browns
and was considered one of
beasting.
the top wide receivers in the league.
He was beasting, dude. So they said that he came out on the field and ran like a 4.4 still.
Yeah.
So he still got speed. He could still burn them. He can run routes. He can jump. He can muscle balls out. He just can't get it together, man. And so he's trying to return. We'll see how that pans out. I'm sure the Browns could use him. He's still under his rookie contract. So, I don't know. He's been suspended for like 2.5 years straight and still on his rookie contract. He's trying to get paid, but you're not going to get paid if you can't clean yourself up. If people can't trust you, you got to agent. Maybe find a different agent, man.
Right.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes, but I know that wasn't a shakeup. And then I know the news that hits us next
this one
week.
hurt.
Yeah, I don't like this, but Cowboys and Giants,
Flex us out.
they flex us out, man. Usually we get flexed back in to like prime time. Now we got
moved
flexed
back
out.
to a noon game.
So noon game against the Giants. I hate noon games, but we got flexed out, which brings us into this Thursday game, though. So maybe they'll flex us back in. Maybe they jumped the gun too soon. But, man, we're going to talk about the Cowboys against the damn Redskins. It was 38-14. People counted us out. We was worried about going in.
They were underdogs at home to the Redskins. So if that tells you anything of kind of respect the Cowboys were getting before Thursday night.
Hey, I don't know. That defense though. Man? I wish you play with a little bit of confidence like that.
Right.
These young cats looking good.
Yeah, they did make some adjustments on the defense. They had Kayvon Frazier coming in there, and he was making some good tackles, man. He's a good tackler.
He's a big
safety,
yeah,
man.
he's a popper, man. He'll pop somebody. He's in there. The only thing I had a problem at the beginning of the game, I kind of threw a fit. Jalen Smith, I'm watching him, run it with the run plays. He hesitated. He did not shooting the gaps, blocking that hole. So all the running backs got to do. Peter Ryan was just waiting to see which way he was going to block, and then he was gone up for. So, but he's getting there. He's seen more of the ball better. That young defense, if it stays like that, and they have promise, man.
Like it's a young defense. Yeah, we've had some, games where you shake your head at it, but you got to understand we have some rookies on our, that are starting. We have Jordan Lewis.
A lot of rookies.
I don't even know how to say his name.
Cheeto
Awuzie was making some good plays Thursday night. Like, he was making some good breaks on the ball, and he can get to the ball fast once he makes that break. So I'm excited to see how much better they can get by the end of the season.
Man, I know.
And our defense is not as bad as people thought they was going to be.
If they play like that,
even with Sean Lee being out, our defense is, for the most part, has held their own. If the offense can score, our defense is good enough to hold, whatever team we're playing, regardless of who we playing. I mean, we held the Eagles to the first half to almost no points. It's just that, when your offense can't score, you keep leaving your defense out there. That's the hardest part.
And that was promise. That showed some promise when they kept the Eagles out like that. So, but of course the Eagles came back, adjusted, and then they just took advantage of the weaknesses. But the way that defense played, if they can keep that up, that's a lot of promise, especially with this young core. If they play together, gel together, that's looking really good. But I want to make sure, Jerry, if you're listening out there, Mr. Jones, go ahead and sign Tank. We need that. I mean, we need him back.
Right.
It's a contract year. We gotta drop some money.
Taco showed up again.
Showed up.
He's starting to progress.
The rookies that we got.
You got to understand, DeMarcus Lawrence, this isn't his rookie season. He's been here a couple years, and now he's starting to pay off. So, you got to give Taco some time. But he's done good, man. He's played. He could have been a Randy Gregory, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's not.
He panned out. He's
panning out so far.
Come on, man. We got to spend some money. I know we got to drop some, make some moves to clear some cap out space. Is one thing that Cowboys have always struggled with because I think it started to me the time I saw it was when we gave that Roy Williams contract. Like that kind of was. Putting money on the back end and then extending others and, people still got to get paid. So we're gonna have to go through some of those transition periods to get that cap money back, and that's just gonna hurt. But the way it is, the offensive line was playing good. They could look like back to the old line.
Right. Shout out to Alfred Morris against the old team, 127 yards.
I used to hate that swing when he scored a touchdown, like he knocked out the park, but it looks good on this side when he's wearing blue. So, 127 yard, averaging 4 yards a carry. Rod Smith got his touchdown.
Right.
He took him like 2 tries to get in. I think he was in the first time, but he just got pushed back. Des showed out. Des had a good game.
Des almost had a second touchdown.
Ooh, man, he put up some points for me on fantasy, which I'm trying to knock Chris out the playoffs. I'm trying to break his heart today. So Des came back out. Des, just like he said, man, give him the ball. Give him a chance. Romo said it last week. You're not seeing enough of that back shoulder fade, especially when you're in the red zone. I think they just got to gel together. We had a little scary with the hand issue with Dak, but he's okay.
He was swollen.
Got a whole 10 days to rest.
Okay, it wasn't a great game for him, but he controlled the flow of the game, which is always what you need on the offensive side.
And he had a running game, which helped him out.
We had the running game going, so we didn't need him to throw as much.
Because there's some questionable ones. Like, okay, when he booted out and Witten was in front, he just lobbed it to Witten, and it was way out of bounds. What was that for, man? Just might as well put your shoulder down or go out of bounds. There was no. I mean,
right.
yeah, you saved yourself a yard. And then there was one time when the pocket was collapsing and he stepped up and he could have ran. It was open
and
he threw it to I think it was Witten again. And so he's got to just read those a little bit faster. But it was a decent game. He was 11 for 22 with 100 yards. Not bad. In fantasy, he put up like 20 points. So I didn't start him. I got Mariota against Houston. So Kirk Cousins went for 251. It's not unusual for a quarterback to put up some numbers like that against.
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
We did shut that running game down.
Yeah, that running game was our running defense.
Not the same without Thompson.
Nah, man, I feel bad that he's out because that was my running back. He got hurt. So, but yeah, Carlos, going back to next week against the Giants. I see that if we play like this against the Redskins, we should go ahead and do well against the Giants. Which then we go to play. I think it's Oakland. So we can. That's manageable. And then this is where it comes to me is we're thinking ahead. If Philly secures their spot, they may just sit everybody. So
the only tough one will probably be Seattle we get Zeke back.
Yeah.
So
we get Zeke back that game. So if you're thinking ahead, we get Zeke back. That's looking promising. That's at least.
We do need some teams to lose too, though.
We do.
Those teams still have some tough matchups left too.
They do. So there's still a chance. There's still a chance, and we'll definitely. I guess I'm pulling for Philly to win it out, so they can sit everybody. Know, so we can get that win.
I'm pulling
maybe
for Minnesota to upset Atlanta today.
Yes.
Atlanta has one of the wild cards right now.
Let's go Minnesota.
Right.
Let's go Minnesota. So it's in the hunt.
It's still open. We still have a chance at the playoffs. Realistically, we just have to keep ours together and get our wins, and then worry about everybody else later. You know what I mean? Right now, we just got to win. We got to get there. So speaking of Minnesota and Atlanta, they do play at noon. That to me probably is going to be the game of the week tonight.
And you said what was the point spread on that one? You remember?
I think this is plus 2.5, or Atlanta's minus 2.5.
Oh, while you're looking that up, Ronnie's
they got Atlanta minus 2.5 right now.
Atlanta minus 2. So I think. This should be a good game.
This should be a great game.
For a noon game. It should be a good one. It's hard to call, man. I can see both defenses have been playing okay. Both offenses they're playing really good. They both have a decent run game. They both have a great passing game. I mean, Thielen's been going off, man. I got him starting in my lineup. I know that Atlanta's not the best matchup for receivers, but you gotta trust Thielen at this point, man. He's beasting out there.
Atlanta does get Devontae Freeman back. He's been out the last 2 weeks with the concussion, but they did say that he's not limited or anything. He's going to be full on today, so that could be a big difference maker as well. Even though Tevin Coleman did feel in very good form, in the 2 weeks that he's been out. But today is the final week of the fantasy football league. The playoffs start next week, so I'm glad he's back. I'm fighting to stay in the playoffs in one of my leagues and the other leagues. I'm just trying to.
Depending on how you do your league. Our league, since we had 12, we do a bye week, so we have 6 spots to get in. And one of my other leagues is still regular season until because it's only 4 spots. So depending on how you go, man, it's our league is crazy. I just saw your standings in your other leagues. It's crazy, man.
Right.
This is the best time to just. I'm out of it, but I'm about to spoil somebody's Christmas, man. Y'all ain't gonna get that money. So, and I will not finish last. Sorry, Fredo, but I think you locked that up, bro. Even if you win today, unless I don't score any points, then you're dead last, and I will make sure I get a good size that you can fit, because you will be out there, Chicago, when we get that trophy. You will be wearing it, bro. Maybe we'll get you. Let me know what color you like, bro. Pink, purple. If you want house shoes, we can fix that up too. If you want me to get you a padded bra, we can get that fixed up. We can get you some Spanx. También todo. We'll work it out. But Ronnie is saying that he did call Ohio State, Wisconsin, and he's asking where Adolph's at, but I guess he tuned in late, so he didn't hear.
Yeah, Adolph took a little vacation down to South Texas, some marketing for the
DaSportzCave. We got the market on lock in South Texas, so
right. We're the first ones in that territory.
no other Dallas local sports stations over there, so we got that on lock, man. So who you got today, man? Final call, man. Minnesota or Atlanta? This is a tough one, dude. I know, even with the spread.
I really want to say Atlanta, man, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings put an upset on them, man.
Yeah.
The one thing that they do have is that they are playing, in the new Mercedes Dome, but Minnesota also plays in the dome now.
They're both dome teams, man. And they both got new stadiums, so.
Minnesota has the offense to keep up with Atlanta. It also depends which Julio Jones is going to show up. The one that, went off and beasted last week like he's known to do.
Man.
Or the one that's been playing all season that didn't have a touchdown all season.
But is that also because of Matt Ryan?
I don't know.
Yeah, see, it's hard to tell with Atlanta.
It's hard to tell with Atlanta. Like, it could be the Atlanta that went all the way to the Super Bowl, or it could be the Atlanta that gave up the 25-point lead in the Super Bowl.
Well, just for record reasons to benefit the Cowboys, I'm going to go ahead and root for Minnesota. I call the Minnesota win. I think Thielen will have a good game. I think they figured out the running game, but I think it'll be a good game either way. It can go either way. I think I might have. I picked the Vikings in my pick'em, so I'll stick with my pick on the pick'ems. So that's I'm going New England on that. I'm sorry, Minnesota on that one. Before we move on,
I'm gonna go with the home team just because it's that close. They have the home field advantage, so I'm gonna go ahead and with Atlanta. It's a close one though, man. I still don't know. I could change my mind before the game starts.
Right. It's still it's
that good of a game today,
it's one of those
man.
ones you drive home, you're like, dang, you start thinking about everything. Like, maybe I'll change it up, but we'll see, man. So shout out to Antonio. Good morning, man. And Ronnie calls the Vikings. We'll see. Ronnie's been on a pretty good streak, man.
What did he say?
He said that he don't think it is as good as you think.
I
don't know. Vikings for the win. Atlanta's gonna lose. I think it'll be a good game.
You might be right, man. I'm telling you, I might end up going with the Vikings too.
Yeah, we'll see. Next up, New England at Buffalo. That's another noon game. And we said the point was like 8.
Yeah, 8.5.
8.5. Man, I think New England covers that. I know Chris Hogan's right out. Amendola's probably banged up.
I see New England going and putting it on them. I mean, Buffalo's, they're okay, but they've had issues themselves. They've had locker room issues. The coach benching the starting, quarterback for a backup that went in threw 5 touchdowns.
And then put him back in.
And then put it back in. Like, that messes with your quarterback's, confidence. Instead of, like, working with him to try to get him right, you just go and bench him. So, I don't know. I don't see Buffalo hanging with New England.
I don't. I know they give him a run for their money.
Even in Buffalo, it doesn't matter. New England plays close enough to bluff Buffalo. They're used to that time of temperature, at this time of the year.
It's a home game for them,
so
basically,
it's almost a home game for them.
I would start. Go ahead, start. I would start. Gronk? Is it Gronk's? I drew a blank, man. Brady.
Start Gronk. After that,
I got Deion Lewis going. He had a really good game last week for me.
I have Rex Burkhead, so he's been doing pretty good.
And you never know. That's the thing with that New England. You don't ever know who's going to be in.
Brady is one of those quarterbacks that loves to spread the ball.
Yeah, Carlos, what's up? Coach Patricia, I'm going to have to root for the I'm still waiting for my sweater. Wait, where is it at? I need my red sweater. I'm not going to buy it. You can buy it for me, and I'll wear it, and I'll give it back to you because I know you like the Patriots too. I don't know. I don't have anybody from Buffalo except Shady, but that's because I had to play him. I don't really have another option. It may not be the best option, but New England does give up some yardage, so that's the only person that I'm starting on Buffalo's.
I don't see Buffalo's offense keeping up with that New England offense, man. New England,
they can't.
been putting up 30 points consistently.
Yeah,
So-
see, like that. Buffalo, most points given to the running back in the last 5 weeks. So
There you go.
I guess we'll just see. Maybe all the running backs eat after a while. So
Right.
I know that's a hard one to call, man. As far as which running back to start, because
Yeah.
Rex Burkhead has good games. Deion Lewis has good games, and then they just switch it out. You know, who knows? Brady goes to everybody. So
Right.
start your Patriots. Start them all. Moving on to another noon game: San Francisco at Chicago. This one.
Snorefest.
This is one that's probably just going to be on the red zone, and they probably won't
It won't
go back to it
come
too
out
much.
on red zone too much.
No,
I don't know.
now I did pick up Chicago's defense right before the show started because I have, it was Cincy against Pittsburgh, and I wasn't too comfortable with that. So San Fran, can they put up numbers? Yes, but Chicago
Chicago has
defense
a style
at home.
What hurts Chicago from a defense being like a defense that people talk about is their offense.
Yeah,
It's that they can't they can't keep up with the defense can only do so much. So Chicago has a good defense, but their offense is just lackluster to me.
and Chicago's minus 2.5, so that's kind of it's kind of a snores fest. But I'm
gonna
still
go with Chicago.
I still think Chicago
It's a home
wins
team. San Francisco. Well, San Francisco does have Garoppolo starting.
They
today,
do have
though.
Garoppolo starting. They're gonna let him play, and he
It
can't
could
put up numbers,
change.
but he did good when he was in New England, and he kind of struggled everywhere else. So we'll see. I think Chicago has enough on their defensive end to hold San Fran back.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too much, but
This one I'm not gonna tune into. Not too much.
this one,
going on
if
in
you
this
have any
game.
players on either team, it's kind of just you're probably safe going with either one because we don't. This game could either be no defense and some scoring, or it could be
like a
absolutely opposite,
shootout.
a shootout. Yeah, so it's hard to call. If you have any players on either team, it's kind of just see what other options you have.
Right.
But who knows? I mean, it's one of those ones that no one's going to tune into, so I don't even know. I don't have anybody playing on either,
I don't
just the
either.
defense, which I'm okay with starting Chicago's defense.
Yeah, that's not a bad play.
Another noon game, Tampa
Bay,
at Green Bay.
The Battle of the Bays.
Man, so is Jameis back this week? I think he was questionable to come back this week, maybe because I remember I have a few
I don't
Tampa
think
players.
he's playing, but
I don't know if
he
he's playing or
might be. I don't know. I don't know if he's playing today though.
Tampa at Green Bay. Green Bay was struggling supposedly, but they actually held their own against Pittsburgh for a little
Right.
bit for a majority of the game.
Try to ruin my hot streak. I knew better than give up 14 points, but
They're giving Green Bay -3.
Minus
They're
three.
giving Tampa 3 points. It's a kind of a tight line. Tampa is up and down. We say it every week. Every week we give them a lot of praise for being an up and coming team, but they can't get it together either.
yeah,
I don't know, man.
they're having their own issues offensive wise. They haven't put up a lot of points.
Doug
Green
Martin's
Bay
out.
looks like Hundley is progressing, like he's getting better. There is news that Rodgers may be back, by week 15, depending how good of a chance they got to making the playoffs. So I think they're going to go out there and put up a good fight. And Green Bay looked good against Pittsburgh last week. Pittsburgh, if y'all don't know, has like one of the top ranked passing defenses, and Hundley was putting it
He was
on
putting
them.
some numbers, yeah.
Him and Devontae Adams were connecting. The running back was doing good,
He was
both
deep,
on
yeah.
on receiving and running the ball. So I think Green Bay gets this one. To be honest,
I
with
think
you.
they do
They're
too.
playing at Lambeau Field, which regardless
home.
of anything, Green Bay at home is one of the toughest teams at home. So I think Green Bay's got the edge on this one.
I think so too. I have some Tampa players, Djax, which scored some points. I got to start Mike Evans because I just have to. He's
You
a no
drafted him to use him every week.
and I did sit him last week because I didn't need him, and he didn't do anything. Or was it 2 weeks ago? He didn't do anything. But I'm starting him. It's a favorable matchup for fantasy implications. Both defenses have struggled a bit. You can score on both defenses. Both offenses go off. But Doug Martin's out today, so we'll see. And if Jameis plays, it just changes the dynamic, especially for me because in one league I have Djax, in the other I have Mike Evans. And when Fitzpatrick's in, it's not always Mike Evans, but when it's Jameis in, it's gonna be Mike Evans. So we'll see. I would start them. For Green Bay, I don't know. I don't think anybody's picked up Henley, so I don't think anybody's gonna start him.
no.
But you can start your receivers.
You can start the running back. Williams he had a hell of a game last week.
Yeah,
He put up 30-plus fantasy points last week. I don't see him having that kind of game today, but I do see him in a feature role. Ty Montgomery, I think, is done for the season. Jones, I don't think still back this week, so Williams is going to get his points today.
Yeah, I think so. Anybody else you would start?
Devontae Adams has been consistent all season, regardless of
whoever he's playing.
If it's Rodgers, he's a guaranteed wide receiver one. Even with Hundley, he's still considered at least
I think that's
at the top end of a wide receiver.
That's his go-to now, I think. So
yeah.
I'm going Green Bay with this one too. I was tossing up, but I at the end of the day, it is Green Bay. I think they have just a little bit more to outmuscle Tampa. But then Tampa will have those surprising games, man. So I don't know, but I still call Green Bay. Being cold in Green Bay, definitely give it to them. Another noon game.
Another non-exciting game.
Houston at Tennessee. I am starting Mariota in this game over Dak in one of my leagues. Dak was struggling, and I'm not going to lie. Fantasy implications, I didn't start him thinking Washington would have a good chance. But Mariota against a Houston team, man, it's a favorable matchup. They give up a lot of points to quarterbacks.
It's a divisional game, so you know it's going to be tough. Houston's defense is good, man. David Clowney, they line him up all over the line, and he gets to the quarterback.
Yeah.
That dude is a beast. But what hurts them, of course, the not so savage. Oh man, that dude.
I don't know, man. They're struggling. They look really good. They had, they need their quarterback back, man. Obviously Tom.
That was a difference maker for their season this year. Once Deshaun Watson went out, That was it, man. And then they can't put up numbers. They can't complete first downs. Yeah, Houston as a healthy team.
Decent
can keep up with anybody in the league. As they were keeping up with New England when Deshaun Watson was playing, and they were not even 100% healthy. There'd be a good team to look out for next year.
Yeah,
I mean, depending what happens with J.J. Watt, at least they still have Clowney. Will Fuller should be healthy. Deshaun Watson, if he can come back and play the way he was playing before,
man,
they're going to be a team to watch in that AFC next year for sure.
That is a team to watch.
For this year, I don't. But just because of their quarterback play, man, I see them losing to Tennessee today. Tennessee, they still have a chance at winning the division, so they're going to be out there playing tough. They have a pretty good, offensive squad. Not great. They don't put up a lot of points, but
no
they
big
put up
names
enough
that
points
do a lot.
to win.
But Mariota can keep him in the game if he plays like Mariota does play. Good morning to Dirty Sanchez. He said, "What's up, fellas? Do the damn thing." And he said, "Give me 2 picks for 200." Well, we'll get to that. We got our. We'll
give you the.
Plays of the games, man. I think Manny will cover those. We're gonna have to make sure that we make that a segment Manny's go-to for the week. But he does gonna charge a commission. So if y'all win, he needs that commission check.
I take food.
There you go. Some pozole right now.
All right. That sounds good.
Who you got, bro? Houston or Tennessee? Who you think's gonna edge it out?
I got Tennessee, man.
I agree. I think they have enough at home. DeMarco may have a decent game. He's been doing pretty good. Even Henry's been doing pretty good. Delaney Walker's been doing all right.
Oh yeah, Delaney Walker's been doing good, man.
So yeah. For Houston, with Savage, I don't know who you start. Their defense, maybe. I don't know. I'm going Tennessee, and I don't know what the point spread is, but regardless, I think Tennessee still covered. Man, Tennessee's good. Which lead us to another snooze fest.
And
these noon.
Not a lot of great games.
These are why they're at noon.
Right.
Miami is playing Denver, and Denver's on the road.
Versus Trash.
Take your pick.
Garbage or trash?
Oh man, Denver was on a high horse when we first started the season.
Denver was a Super Bowl contender before the season started.
And now they're like, man, they're
hoping to win a top draft pick.
Yeah, they're on the verge. I don't know what happened to them.
Another quarterback that just, I don't know.
God,
Brock
man.
the Rock Osweiler.
He's throwing rocks out
playing?
there.
Well, yeah, Lynch got hurt.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so he's out there throwing rocks. I don't know. Man, I don't know what happened. Their defense Their defense has been doing decent, but they have been getting exposed, man.
Leave today. He's
suspended. So I mean, but then again, you have Miami on this side. So Kenny Stills may have a good game.
Right. I see Kenny and Drake. He's going to have a feature role today because Williams got hurt. Yeah. So they were the only two running backs after the trade. Ajayi. They do have another running back, but he's definitely going to be a featured runner today. Mm-hmm. And don't think just because they're playing the Broncos defense that he won't have a good game. I see him getting his points today.
Yeah. The Broncos defense is not as scary as everyone thought they were. The no-fly zone been getting thrown on all year.
So
I don't know what happened to Denver, bro. They were in there strong, and I don't know. This is the one that I don't even know who to pick, man. I don't remember who I got. I don't even
go with the home field advantage.
Let me see. I don't know. I picked them in my pick 'em. I picked the Dolphins, so I'll stick with my Dolphins pick.
The Dolphins.
I picked the Dolphins this week.
I did too.
So we'll stick with that. I don't know who else you start on Denver's side. Emmanuel Sanders, maybe. I have him on my bench because I can't trust.
I got him benched. I don't know.
Me too. I have him benched too.
The quarterback play is horrible, man. I don't know.
Ugly game versus Tennessee. And
maybe
Houston,
Demaryius Thomas, maybe.
Yeah, Demaryius. Yeah, the big name. I mean, your sure guys are the ones that you start. No running backs.
Right. C.J. Anderson hasn't really been doing nothing. Booker's been biting into his timeshares.
So man, who knows? That's an ugly game.
It is.
Man, and it doesn't get any better. It may be a little bit better. Kansas at New York. The Jets.
Man, what happened to them Chiefs? Jerry,
where's Jerry
where you been? Jerry, you were calling every week when y'all were hot.
Look,
now y'all sucking. You ain't been heard from.
Y'all upgraded from
What's
vanilla.
Going on, Jerry?
Y'all upgraded from vanilla to chocolate, and now that chocolate is melted.
Right. No, they went from vanilla to
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan, and now y'all back to vanilla.
We started eating that chocolate and the strawberry, and now we just got left with the vanilla part again. So
right.
I don't know, man. I do have Tyreek Hill starting. This one maybe, I think surprisingly, this one may be put up some points because the Jets have put up points and their offense is rolling.
Haven't been able to win the last.
They just can't
weeks.
win, and then Kansas has the ability to put up points. So I don't trust these defenses.
There was even a report, the Bleacher Report put out saying the Chiefs are going to go with Alex Smith this week, basically saying that there was a chance he might have been benched.
Yeah.
So I mean, they do have a good rookie quarterback back there that. At the beginning of the season, they were saying if Alex Smith didn't play good, that he had a chance of losing his job, and now they're struggling. So I mean, I'm sure they want to see what they got in their rookie quarterback too. So
and he'd be Mahomes be a good start. It's not too threatening against the Jets, but Alex wants to pay. He wants to play for that money, so I'm sure he's going to lobby to play. The line is 3.5 points. The Chiefs are favored by 3.5.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
The Jets find a way to lose every game.
Yeah, they do, and that's been their Achilles heel.
They put up points, but they can't seem to win. Like last week, they were playing against Carolina, and they were doing good.
Yeah,
and just like the Jets do, they found a way. That game.
I was kicking myself because I sat Curse, and he was scoring points, and then at the end of the day, they still end up losing. Right. So I am starting Curse.
Shout out though, because the Jets did let me cover my lock of the day was Carolina and Seattle. I did hit both.
And then Manny will give us lock of his day today. The lock of the day. It's not this one though, because 3.5 points. I am going Kansas as well. I'm starting Tyreek Hill. Kareem Hunt, what happened? Where's he at?
Where you been? Kareem, the dream is over.
He's over, man. I'm starting.
He's good though.
I'm starting Curse.
He'll have a bet. He's going to be a good running back for years to come though. He has the talent to be a good running back. As a team, they've took a step back. From when he was doing great. So I don't think it's all on him. I think it's more on the offense as a whole not doing as good as they had been. So
Carlos is calling for. Let's see what we got. Denver lost the defensive coordinator. Yep, that's true. They got exposed. The Chiefs will be okay. They just need to change their game plan. Yep, they do. Yeah. And Carlos is saying that the Jets win. I don't know, bro. They find a way to lose every week, so I don't think they will. I think Kansas will edge it out. It may be a field goal. I mean, that 3.5 may not cover.
To me, Vegas knows what they're doing when they put out lines to give the Chiefs minus 3 points, and they're the away team.
Yeah.
That goes to show you when you're a home team and they put you as an underdog, which I'm not saying it's a guarantee that they're not gonna win. I mean, you never know. Anything's possible. It's been that kind of season where
the whole season
anything can happen, But it's tough this late in the season for you to be a home team and then make you an underdog.
If you don't remember, we were praising the Jets a few weeks ago because they were surprising everybody with a win streak, and then that ended, and then they just.
Then they showed you their true colors.
Their true colors came back. They didn't go 0-16, which we all thought before the season started. But
they got a little jet fuel in their tank, and then they started running out again.
And then it started just drifting down and make a safe landing.
Shout out to Jacob, the only Jets fan I know.
The only one that I know.
Don't know how.
You know what? One, there's one in my one of my buddies' leagues that is a Jets fan, and he lives in Miami. I don't get it either, but I guess they're on the East Coast. I'm going Kansas. I'm starting Tyreek Hill. If Alex Smith plays, you start him. Start Kelsey. Either way, I'm starting Curse. Safari Jenkins has been making some noise and been consistent the last couple of weeks. So I may start him too. I don't know if you have anybody else. Maybe
I don't have anybody in this game.
Bilal Powell maybe, but Kansas defense, their defense is still pretty good. The running games, they can stop the running game.
I do have the Chiefs defense.
Yeah, and that's a toss up because who knows? This is either going to be low scoring or high scoring, but I still think
Jets are known for turnovers. Though.
Yeah,
that's how Carolina beat them last week with on a fumble return for a touchdown. So I'm hoping for a repeat this week from the Chiefs.
McCown
defense.
has been solid, so he may be a good start. The Kansas defense is not as scary, but they're still dominant.
Anderson has been a good start, man. Robbie Anderson for the Jets.
For the Jets, he's been getting open.
He finds a way to score touchdowns, man. If y'all didn't see him last week against Carolina, dude was balling.
Yeah, man. So I think it'll be close, like the line says, but I think Kansas edges it out. Then we got Indy at Jacksonville.
Man,
Jacksonville should just take this.
Should be a Jacksonville game, but anytime that Jacksonville's had a game where you're like, oh yeah, they're gonna win,
they struggle.
Their quarterback play is not great. I see their team is a team to look for the next couple of years, but they need a new quarterback.
They need a quarterback. What about maybe
Blake Bortles is just not gonna cut it, man.
Would you think Eli be a fit for Jacksonville?
Nah,
just
they
too
need
old?
Something better.
They need someone younger.
They need somebody to develop and to grow with the team that they have right now, because they have a young team of players over there.
Yeah,
and they got a rookie running back. They got some rookies on the defensive side that's been having some great season. The Jacksonville is going to be a good team. They just need to make a couple more player acquisitions, whether it be in free agency or through the draft. And quarterback being one of them. So.
I mean, I don't know. Eli, like it was in the chat earlier. They were talking about Eli has a connection over there in Jacksonville, so we'll see. His old coach is over there, but
Coughlin?
Coughlin. But does that make it a fit for the team? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
So their running game is great. Their defense is, man. Their secondary is good, but Indy Brissett's been playing decent. I drafted Marlon Mack on a high, and he hadn't done nothing. Frank Gore still
looked good for a while, but it's just when your team's just not great, it starts to show after a while. You can't be that consistent with your team not being as good as it really is. You can get hot for a little while, but your true colors come out.
They do. And that thing is that, man, so much technology and film and everything comes out, and that's when, man, those coaches, that's all they do all day, dissect and study film. So you can have a good game next week. If the coaches know what they're doing, they're going to adjust, and maybe not so good. I'm still calling Jacksonville on this one. I'd start just about everybody except Bortles. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Indy, Brissett, maybe if you have to.
Fournette. You saying Indy side?
But on Jacksonville, Fournette, you start.
T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. I don't think Indy.
Tough, right?
Yeah, I don't think Indy's defense is that good, but I think Jacksonville's gonna win it with their run game
and their defense.
Because there's really no need for throw, and if you don't want those picks, because Bortles doesn't need to be throwing it if he's gonna turn it over.
Yeah.
I say it's all good for Fournette to go head off, and maybe if for Indy, if you have to start Brissett, maybe Jack Doyle if you need a tight end. Tight ends have been rough this year. But this is not one that I'm excited to watch. There's not many this week. This week is kind of like, man, I don't know.
It's just not an exciting lineup.
It really isn't. There's some games where you're kind of like, maybe because all the excitement from the Cowboys game got us all hyped up. Home and road split for Jags is worse at home. Yeah, we'll see. They should get the W. They better get the W.
Right.
I don't know. This one's a little bit better. Detroit at Baltimore.
Better matchup, especially after Baltimore got their win last week. Their playoff chances are still kind of there. Detroit, has been one of those teams that's just been up and down. They have the offense to keep up with anybody in the league. Also, Amir Abdullah is out for the game, so they're gonna be going with Theo Riddick and I forgot the other guy's name, the other running back they got.
But Theo Riddick's known he can put up points.
Yeah, he can put up points, but he's more of a receiving running back than a between the lines kind of running back. So we'll see. I don't think that'll affect him that much.
Now the Lions are away, but they're favored by 2.5. So that's pretty close. That's gonna be a close line.
Baltimore looked good last week. They won, but Houston's offense wasn't really a threat only at the beginning of the game. But Baltimore's offense. I mean, Flacco is just not that great,
and he's so inconsistent, bro. So you don't know. And Detroit's been in the hunt the entire season. Whether even they're playing from behind, man, they come in, and Matt Stafford is a good start today. Baltimore's defense, it does put up a lot of numbers, but when you play an offense that can adjust and Matt Stafford throws it, and Matt Stafford can throw, he'll sling them.
If y'all watched the first half of last week's game with Baltimore and Houston, Savage was actually throwing.
Tom Savage, bro. Yeah.
You know, Hopkins was. They could not hold down Hopkins last week.
And that's what Savage at quarterback. So now you have
Matt Stafford, which is a great quarterback.
He's a good quarterback. That's a definite start.
And it has some weapons. You know, he has Marvin Jones Jr. over there. He has Golden Tate. He has Galladay over there. It's pretty good. Their tight end's kind of weak. Ebron should be a lot better than what he is, and he just never has panned out for them. But overall, I think Detroit has enough offense to go in there and beat Baltimore.
They
honestly.
should.
I think Detroit will win this one for sure.
On the Baltimore side, Flacco is not a safe start. Man, this was I'm torn in between, but I'm leaning like after we talk about it and break it down. I think I'm going to switch it up and go with the Lions favorite because the Ravens have the tendency to have a good game and then they have a sloppy game. Detroit's defense is not the best, but they're decent enough to where they can kind of hold Baltimore back. Flacco is known. I think Flacco will throw some interceptions today, maybe one. I just think Matt Stafford is going to step it up at this late in the season. They still have a chance. They're still in the hunt. And I think they have a better offense than Baltimore does. So I'm going to go Detroit.
I'm going Detroit on this game.
The next one, it is the first 3 o'clock. Why would this flex this one back? I mean, they should have flexed. It's Cleveland at the Chargers.
The winless Cleveland Browns.
This is the Chargers can't even sell out a home game in a small stadium that's a soccer stadium.
But the Chargers have been playing better.
They've been playing better. They of course they beat the Cowboys, which is their big win. But whatever. But against the start everybody, Melvin Gordon, Phillip Rivers.
I see this one getting ugly pretty quick.
This one's gonna get. I think Melvin Gordon's gonna get a lot.
They're giving the Chargers 13.5 point favorites.
God, you know what?
So,
13 points. I think they still cover.
I think they cover.
I think they do.
I mean, they put 30-some points on the Cowboys, and the Cowboys only put up like 10 points on the Chargers. So
yeah, so I think But then Cleveland was hanging in last week. They have surprise, but I don't think they'll do that again. I don't think they'll do it again. The Chargers defense isn't the best, but
they are getting good though.
They're getting a lot better.
Bosa's a good player.
I'm glad Bosa didn't. I thought Bosa was going to come into Dallas and just tear it up, and I'm glad they held him and checked him a little bit. But Bosa is probably going to have a huge game today against a rookie quarterback.
I can see that.
So if you have LA's defense, I'd start them for sure. I don't know who you would start for Cleveland. Duke Johnson maybe.
It'd be tough.
That's tough, for anybody to start. So
Coleman, maybe if you need a wide receiver to flex out. Coleman's been pretty good. He's been at least consistently getting double digits the last 3 weeks. So since he got back from his injury, and even before he got injured, he had one double-digit game before he got hurt. So he's been consistent enough, at least for a flex. I wouldn't say guaranteed wide receiver 1 numbers, but he's a good flex player.
If you have no options, something. But I'm going LA on this one. Or San Diego, as we like to call them.
I see Keenan Allen having a great game here.
Now, the thing is, this is the thing that you have to consider is if it gets out of hand, they don't need to throw.
Yeah.
Do you want to have, but they will. The thing is that they will throw early. Phillip Rivers likes to throw.
And then Cleveland does have a better run defense than they do pass defense. So but that's one of those ones where if it gets out of hand, then you're kind of stuck with what you got. So it's one to think about. This is a better game. New York Giants at Oakland. It's better than the one before. It's better than some of the other ones. Level. I don't know.
It's.
You forget the Giants have Geno
you know what?
Smith.
That's right. The Geno Smith is starting.
No, Janoris Jenkins. Eli Apple might not play. They're just hurt all over the place. They got their backup quarterback. They don't have no wide receivers other than Sterling Shepard and the tight end Ingram. And Ingram hasn't. The last couple weeks has been
shut down.
So. I don't know. I see the Raiders running away with this one early.
I think Marshawn finally has a big game.
The Raiders are going to be missing Amari Cooper. He is out for the game.
Crabtree's out.
Make sure. Oh yeah.
He's suspended.
So, I don't know, man. This is gonna be a crazy game
So,
with no wide receivers on both sides of the
I
ball.
think Cordell Patterson will have a good game. They'll probably use him a lot more than just special teams. They'll have him in there.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a run-heavy game and tight end play with Derek Carr. So I still think Oakland runs away with it. New York, I don't know what they're doing, man. You know what? That's fine though. As a Cowboys fan, let them stay down at the bottom. They can own that spot.
They couldn't even put up but like 10 points against the Redskins on Thanksgiving, so I don't.
I think
with their backup quarterback now, I don't see them doing much.
Nah, it's Geno Smith. Y'all don't remember Geno Smith. That's why. It's Geno Smith.
It's Geno Smith.
So Oakland's gonna take it easily.
Yeah. There's not too much going on in this game with all the injuries and the suspension.
Yeah.
I could see Derek Carr maybe putting up a few points, but I got him bench in my league. I got Case Keenum actually starting instead of
that's
Derek Carr.
A better opportunity for a shootout than this is the same thing. If they gets out of hand, they're gonna run the ball.
Yeah.
They're giving the Raiders 8.5 points, which I think is very generous. It's not generous enough, should I say?
Yeah. I think they cover that one.
Yeah, they cover that one. Now this
should be Oakland type of game.
This next one is a good game.
It's the best one of the afternoon games.
This is our game to watch. Carolina at New Orleans.
Divisional
Ronnie,
game.
Where you at? I know you finna say something. Where you at, Ronnie?
Overrated Cam Newton.
Overrated Cam Newton? I don't think so.
No.
This is going to be the game to watch.
Could he play better? Yes, but not overrated.
He's not overrated. Man.
It's going to be a good game,
It's in New Orleans.
It's in New Orleans, on the turf.
On turf.
In the dome.
So it's going to be
how Breeze is on the dome. So
the run game is doing good.
This is one I couldn't pick and pick them like, I don't know.
They're giving the Panthers +5, and I'm rolling with the Panthers today. It's a hard choice, and I may change that because New Orleans at home, that run game, but I don't know. This is really going to be a really good game. I don't think it's going to be a low scoring game. I think it'll be a shootout because both teams are capable of doing it and have done it in the past. I think I'd start Cam because Cam will find a way in the dome.
Yeah. He'll have his numbers.
Yeah, I start Breeze. I start
Kamara. Ingram.
Yeah, man. This is a game. This is a good game.
Yeah,
this is definitely.
I got the Saints actually winning though. I have to disagree with you just because they're at home.
Yeah. I'm still tossed
they're
up.
coming off a loss, so they're not gonna take that loss lightly. I think they're gonna be hungry to get back, to winning. Nobody expected them to go like on the 8-game winning streak like they did. Nobody even thought of the Saints being a playoff contention team. And now they might run away with the division championship.
They will.
I don't know.
They might.
So I think, man, that's for them to give them 5-point favorites. To me, I think New Orleans is going to go in there and put in work against Carolina. Carolina's a great team. They've been good, but they did struggle against New York. They got a couple lucky breaks, last week. So that game definitely was not just a blowout. It wasn't just they went in there and took care of business. No. They caught a couple little breaks that helped them win last week. So
yeah, this one, like I said, I'm still tossed up. I may switch it before the game starts because it's at 3. But the way that Carolina's offense has been playing when they're putting up numbers, man, when they get going and gelling and man, I don't know, but this is a tough one. For now, I say that Carolina will go in there and do some work. But the Saints may take it away. Man, I hope it's a shootout. I'm want a shootout. I want a lot of. I wonder what the over under is.
It's gonna be a great game though.
Yeah,
Don't get me
this
wrong.
should be a good game.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
But I just think New Orleans finds a way to win this one. To be honest with you.
Yeah. These fools are talking chit-chatting with each other on the chat. All right, so that one, I'm going to leave that one up. I won't pencil anything in now because I'll probably switch 2 times before the end of the day. But it will be one of the games to watch because the next one's maybe not as good. The Rams
against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I think the Rams will get this one, cover the spread and all. This is one of my plays today.
So this is one of your locks, y'all. One of your locks.
I didn't know this is one of the locks.
One of the locks. Manny put the candado. Ya está cerrada. Contra candado. Okay. So the Rams are favored by 7.
Arizona just, with Drew Stanton just had, they're not the same without, a better quarterback. You have Fitzgerald that's always going to put up numbers. He's been one of the greatest receivers, and that's been playing for the last couple of years. But they just can't keep up with that Rams offense. The Rams haven't been as good as when they first started the season, but they're still a great offense. That's a team, another team to look at.
Yeah, Jared Goff is a start today. We mentioned it a few times this season that Arizona's defense isn't what they used to be. So Jared Goff's a good start. Gurley's going to eat. Fitzgerald on the other side will probably get his numbers even with Drew Stanton there because he does, regardless that you just throw him the ball, he will find a way to catch it.
Right.
But yeah, man, I think LA's offense is just too potent.
Too much,
yeah,
man. Gurley's gonna be running the ball today.
Yeah, definitely a good start for Gurley. Yeah, I'm going with the Rams on this one. It is
another exciting game.
No, but the next one, because we're moving on to the good one.
Prime time.
Philly at Seattle.
Philly at Seattle is going to be a hell of a game.
That is going to be a hell of a game. That is one to watch. They're going
Philly -3.
Philly -3. So they're not giving them too many points, and that's because they do have a better defense, and they are on the road at the 12th man.
Seattle's a tough place to play, but Seattle's got a lot of injuries too, man.
Yeah,
they ain't got no Richard Sherman, no Cam Chancellor. They do got some great linebackers though, man.
They do.
Bobby Wagner's been great.
I got him in one of my leagues that have defensive players.
Yeah, I mean,
but
don't count Seattle out, but it's going to be a tough
game.
A tough game to handle for Seattle because, man, Philly just scores on everybody.
And I don't see who they haven't scored against, even with the good defenses, even if it's close, like when they lost to Kansas. That was a close game.
And that's when Kansas City had it together.
And that's that's at the beginning of the season when they were beasting, but I don't know, man. Carson Wentz finds a way to just find someone open. Jay Ajayi can have a big game. I know Seattle's front is good, so he may not have a biggest game as we think he is. But their passing game,
But I think what helps them, too, with the running game, they got 3 good running backs over there that keeps them all fresh. Because Ajayi's a great running back. Then you got LeGarrette Blount. He's a bruiser. He's going to bruise that defense.
I got him as a backup.
And then you got Corey Clement. He'll come in there in third down and passing situations.
And get those yardage.
He's a touchdown vulture. I didn't know.
So, yeah.
He'll vulture a touchdown here and there. So, they stay fresh. On the defensive side of the ball, man, Cox is a beast.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I mean, the Eagles
they look really good, man. So, I think Philly still takes it. I wouldn't say that the guaranteed put up points like they have been with everybody else, but I'm safe to say that they will put up some points. I got Wentz starting.
It's going to be an exciting game.
This should be a good game.
I'm happy about.
This one, take a nap if you got these other snooze fests and wake up to watch this one for sure. This is going to be a good game. I know there's no Cowboys on today, but that'd be a game to watch. It's a divisional game. If they lose, it doesn't help us. If they win, it doesn't help us. So I'm going for Philly to win so that they can lock it up and just sit players down when we play against the Cowboys. Right. So, but that should be a better game.
I got Philly on this.
I got Philly on that one too. Leaves us just to one more game, which is Monday night. Pittsburgh at Cincy. Pittsburgh.
This is kind of interesting. They're playing in Cincy. They're only giving Pittsburgh, I think 3 points. Or 4.5. But still, I mean, I don't know. Cincy always plays them tough.
Yeah.
And if I don't keep up with their rivalry,
that's a good one to watch.
It's a tough rivalry, man. It's been a good one to watch for the last couple of seasons. Cincy, man, they're so frustrating to watch.
It's hard to
determine. You know they can be good. You know they can. They got a running game. They got one of the top elite wide receivers in A.J. Green, even though he hasn't had a great season. He's had some great games.
Red Rifle can put up numbers if he needs to.
But he can also throw interceptions.
And he throws a lot of interceptions too. So, man, I don't know. Pittsburgh, though, as much as when we go into these games thinking they're going to be dominant, they have those games. They go to those games like, what are y'all doing? Like, what's going on? Like,
yeah, I mean, they had to throw everything out, on the field last week just to get back past Green Bay and their backup quarterback.
Yeah.
They weren't even supposed to let Green Bay score that many points, having the top defense or one of the top, passing defenses, and Green Bay couldn't even score on Baltimore, and y'all let them score 30 points.
Yeah, so it's tough. They do play them tough. They do play each other really well. They know each other really well. It's one of the longest rivalries. I think Pittsburgh still edges it out.
Yeah, that being said, Pittsburgh still wins.
Yeah, but it's one of those ones that it's hard to choose who's going to put up points because, Antonio Brown went off for 4 touchdowns, and then there's times where he doesn't get anything. So it's hard to say. I think Le'Veon Bell, I think there's still a solid start. Le'Veon Bell, A.J. Green, Antonio Brown. And then
I think Pittsburgh has enough offense that Cincinnati can't keep up.
They won't be able to keep up. I'd start Big Ben if you have him, if you need him.
Antonio Brown's a lock every week.
Yeah, every week. On Cincy, man, I don't know. They don't seem to have their offense together enough to.
Marvin Lewis, what are you doing?
We're gonna say it again. Look, Manny's gonna get this done. Right, he's gonna ink it up before the season's
When they
up.
fire him, y'all gonna say he's been saying this since week 1.
When they fire him, Manny's gonna go live in the middle of the week and be like, "I told y'all."
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going Pittsburgh on that one. And I think the game to watch for me this week, man, I think it's either gonna be the
Minnesota and Atlanta. Probably my top one.
In the morning.
Is that one?
Morning time, Minnesota, Atlanta at 3:00. I definitely want to watch New Orleans, Carolina, and then
Sunday night prime time.
That one's for sure watch.
Chose a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah, that one panned out to be good. Otherwise, I think they would have flexed it out.
Right.
Other than that, man, there's not much going on. We can go into our what's happening. I don't know if you guys, maybe it's too early for y'all. I do watch soccer. The World Cup, the groupings are out. I know people enjoy that. I know Italy's out, which is really weird. USA's out. So it's interesting groupings. If you guys are interested, I will try to cover it when the World Cup, because that's great, man. That's like a month.
I mean, even your casual soccer fan or not so much soccer fan, when the World Cup is going, people watch.
It's a World Cup.
Sport.
Yeah, it's a world event. So I'll just kind of run over the groups if y'all are interested. Group A: Russia, Uruguay, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia. Russia's in because they're the home country, so they have to go in. Group B: Portugal, Spain, Iran, and Morocco. That's decent. Portugal and Spain are pretty dominant. Iran and Morocco, I don't think are going to do much. No. Group C: France, Peru, Denmark, and Australia. France should get out of the group stage. Group D: Argentina, Croatia, Iceland, and Nigeria.
Oh, that's a tough group.
Yeah, and Argentina should get that out, but they've been struggling too. So Group E: Brazil, Switzerland, Costa Rica, and Serbia. Switzerland has been playing decent. Costa Rica, Los Ticos, they're pretty damn good, and Brazil's pretty good. So that may be an interesting group to watch. The one for me to watch, because it's one of my only teams in there other than Spain, is Germany, Mexico, Sweden, and South Korea. Everyone's saying Mexico's in the group of death, but I think they'll be okay. South Korea's they've been playing better. Sweden's pretty good. Germany, of course, is one of the favorites to win the whole thing, and I like to watch their team play. But I think Mexico will have a chance, man. I don't know. That's kind of what I got.
I root for.
Yeah, that's what I'm rooting for.
U.S. is out, so two teams, Mexico and U.S. I'm Mexican American.
There you go. So I'll be going. I definitely root for Mexico. I do root for Spain because, of course, Mexico, the conquistadors, the way you look at it. I'm a little light skinned, so I got some Spanish somewhere probably down the line. But Germany is a good team to watch, so that would be a good group to watch. Group G: Belgium, England, Tunisia, and Panama. England has been better, but they've been struggling too. And then Poland, Colombia, Senegal, and Japan to Group H. So just giving you the groups. We'll see how that pans out. That's great. That's soccer all day. I'm excited for it. I know it's next year in the summertime, but I'm ready for it. This gets everybody excited. This lets you know that, hey, all the qualifying games matter at some point, because USA didn't make it. Italy of all people didn't make it. I have no idea how they
didn't make it.
Yeah, so I'm a little disappointed in USA, but we'll see. It should be good. Then you had some
boxing news. If y'all didn't catch it last night, Miguel Cotto's final fight to a very awesome career. He did lose, which is a tough way to end your career with the loss. But Cotto was one of the most dominant boxers to come out of Puerto Rico. He only had 6 losses, including last night. So it's not like he just had a terrible end to his career. He did, come out and did a lot that people didn't expect him to, and became one of the elite boxers. Fought some of the best boxers in the world.
He did,
and he held his own. I mean, I give him every respect. It was what you want a boxer to be. No off the field, out of the ring issues, family man, and he would give you fights like not just technical fights. He would go in there slug out. He was a technical fighter too. He did good when Freddie Roach took him over. He showed that he still had some left in the tank. But, man, shout-outs to him, man, for an awesome, awesome career, man.
He had some great fights,
If
man.
y'all didn't get to watch his fights, man, I don't know what y'all were watching, but he had some great fights.
He had a great fight here.
He definitely got my respect.
Yeah.
If y'all didn't watch, Canelo gave him a big shout-out, man, and that's awesome to see a boxer respect another boxer like that. So, shout-out to Cotto, man. It's going to be sad not to see him in the ring any longer. He does do boxing promotions, so he'll still be in the boxing news from the time to time, but you know, it was a tough way for him to get in his career.
You want him to go on a high like that, on a win, but hey, that's just sometimes. I mean, there's all this young talent out there, though, man. It's not like we're gonna be missing out some great fights.
Oh no! Right now, you know, from the 147 to the 154 pounds, there's a lot of talent right there. And that's the weight limit that he was at. So it was kind of his time. You know, because the boxing is getting a little younger at that weight. There's a lot of big names coming up right now. You know, with Charlo brothers, then you got Errol Spence, you got dude from Nebraska. I can't even think his name right now.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who that is.
It just blanked out right now. But anyways, you know, there's a lot of big names in boxing right now. But just, you know, people that don't watch boxing as much, he did retire, so he is done. But it was a great career. So any other shout outs you have, man, before we move on? I think I'm done.
I think I got more. Yeah, no, shout out to all the callers or chatters today. No callers, but Carlos is in the building. Ronnie, Antonio, Manny, Adolph tuned in on the road.
Right.
So we do appreciate y'all tuning in. Shout out to everybody. Y'all stay safe during the holidays. I know this is the season. And shout out to Goody Goody. Y'all have some good specials. I forgot your stuff, man.
Man.
Yeah, I know. I still got it at the house, though.
Right.
I forgot everything. But y'all, if y'all want any gifts, the gift sets with the cups.
It's the time to go to the liquor store.
It's a nice time. If y'all have any tamales for us y'all want us to test,
right.
we'll test.
Give some shout outs to y'all.
So tamales, we'll give you some shout outs. I want to taste some tamales and see what's up. But other than that,
shout out to our executive producer Mino
behind
the scenes,
holding the boards down.
Makes it all happen.
There you go. The new tripod, it looks awesome, man. So
it's time to go red zone and chill this day.
Red zone and chill, man. That's the motto. No more Netflix and chill. This is red zone and chill. Enjoy this
Football
red zone.
Sunday, man.
Enjoy the red zone before it's out, because then we'll only have a few games to watch left. So
have a good Sunday, man.
Y'all have a good Sunday. It's your boy Juice
and Big Manny in the house.
Y'all have a good day, man. Let's go eat.
Thank you for watching the Sports Cave on #Champs.
#Champs is a Twisted Curve production.